My Lifestyle magazine. It's my pleasure to introduce Duangi, which is Miss Venezuela Heritage. She's going to be speaking today, but she's speaking in Spanish. So, how many people here speak Spanish? Perfect. But I want to invite one of another contestant, which is willing to translate for her because I want her to live the experience of being with you guys, and she's like willing to support, which is another one of my girls. And then she's Stephanie, which is going to be helping her. She speaks Spanish and English, so she's going to be translated for her. And it's a way of her as women supporting each other and telling the world that this is the way that we can work. So I wanted Stephanie to come, and she's representing Miss Dominican Republic, Miss Heritage Dominican Republic.
Hello, everyone.
La moda nos da, es realmente más poderosa que un tirano porque nos da las directrices de cómo debemos ser según la forma que nos vestimos, si está bien, que cómo tenemos que ser, si altas, bajas, que debemos ponernos, que es tendencia, que no lo es, y realmente... okay.
She's saying that she believes that fashion is actually much powerful than a tyrant, just because it allows you to express yourself, like how these ladies were mentioning before. No matter if you're tall, if you're short, there's always a way to express yourself, to express who you are and how you look physically with what you're wearing, and that's one way of how fashion is more powerful than a tyrant.
La moda es tan influyente que cuando, o sea, es tan influyente que cambia tu forma de ser según el tipo de ropa que llevas.
It influences you a lot, especially with what people expect of what you're wearing, what you should be wearing.
Estoy un poco nerviosa.
A little nervous.
Como modelo, pienso que realmente uno tiene que ser como...
She's trying to say that as a model, it's difficult for her to live with what the expectations are. So she expresses herself and her individualism through fashion. So that's such a huge impact on her, that the fashion has had a great impact on her, right? Modeling.
Pienso que la gente se tiene que rebelar ante esto porque la moda no le debe influir tanto para cambiar su forma de ser según la ropa que tenga, y que realmente lo importante es lo de adentro, no tu forma de vestir.
She also believes that fashion shouldn't determine who you are as a person. We should focus on the inside as well, and we shouldn't let people determine who you are based on what you are wearing. So it's a self-expression, but at the same time, you should have the opportunity to learn who the person is as well.
Al ser modelo siempre tienes que estar a la última, lo último que se lleva, tienes que estar regia, bonita siempre, arreglada, para tener una buena imagen y transmitir tu personalidad. Pero pienso que realmente no es importante, sino tu forma de ser y lo que quieres, lo que quieres expresar con tu personalidad. No es importante la ropa.
Yes, there's a lot of expectations, especially as a model. So there's an expectation in each heritage as well. So especially, for her as a Latin model, there's an expectation to dress the part as a model. So she's saying the same, it's important to kind of break that, let go of what the expectations are and actually live for what you want to be, and just self-expression within.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we've had different perspectives. We've had the model, Doangli, did I pronounce that correctly? Doangli, a model, and we've had our fashion image consultant, and I'm a designer, and we've all talked, but what I'd like us to do now is, I would like to hear from you, the audience. I know that there are people in the audience who have some wonderful ideas that they want to share with us, your own ways, or some ways that you know of, or some ways that you think you could use your fashion as a message, as a weapon against tyrants. Thank you. So just 1 minute each so everybody gets an opportunity to speak.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really glad to be a part of this session. I so very well connect with this session. And I really thank you all for sharing such wonderful views and your experience with us. I connect with her because I come as an image consultant and a corporate trainer. I do believe we've been talking about fashion. In an earlier session, I've also spoken as how people perceive us is what fashion is. It's quite psychological. We have spoken about some kind of pressure that people feel being into a certain outfit. She spoke about the same thing as she is a model. You know, it's very important that we walk the talk. Fashion is about walking the talk. It's about feeling the freedom in clothing. There are a lot of other things which connects with us in creating a complete harmony in what I wear. Today I wear something, I blindly follow fashion, but if I wear something that I'm not able to carry well, it connects with my inner image, because with my inner image also comes the confidence that I'm able to carry an outfit. If I today wear something where my body language reflects a different story about the garment I wear, it will definitely not look good on me. So yes, I do agree with her when she says that there's a kind of pressure that being a model, she has to dress in a certain manner, and that is most of the time that we experience when we have people in certain sort of areas where they work. In the corporate field, people are expected to, we as image consultants, when we train, we are expected to be all the time dressed in formal. Most of the times we're not able to sort of very comfortable carrying it 8 hours in training, but that's the reason I call it very psychological, and all of us must experience our freedom in what we wear. Yeah? So that's important also, feeling freedom in what you wear.
Thank you so much for that contribution. Talking about the pressure that you just mentioned and the ladies just talked about, I think that one of that pressure is real, that pressure is not going to go anywhere because that's how society operates. But I think one of the ways to get rid of that pressure is through education. Education is a deliverer and a liberator. Because when you get educated as to what kind of dressing is appropriate for what occasion and for the person that you are, that pressure leaves. Because then you're always dressed right, for the right occasion, in the right place, looking the very best, communicating the correct language about yourself. Because sometimes you could be saying one thing, but your presentation of yourself is saying something else. So to deal with that pressure, it's not going to go away no matter how much we sing or complain. The best way to deal with that kind of pressure about how you look and how you should carry yourself is to get educated. What's the best way? And then we have fashion consultants here. I too am a fashion consultant. And even online, the self-help tips, you know, just so many different things that you could do to help yourself. Thank you.
I have a question actually for all of you.
Just she wants to just
Pienso que solo lo de afuera, lo que llevas puesto, es tu carta de presentación. Pero si estás vacía por dentro, no eres nada. Realmente tienes que ser bueno por dentro para expresar bien lo que llevas tu exterior, lo que llevas fuera. Si no estás bien por dentro, no te vale nada el físico ni lo que llevas.
Saying that you can be someone outside with your passion, but if you're empty inside, it doesn't matter. There is no meaning to what you're wearing in your exterior. So it's very important to connect the two. You're nothing outside, it really doesn't matter. And it's kind of similar to what she was saying as well. you have to kind of relate the two and be able to expose yourself to what she was saying.
Thank you so much. So let your outside be the loudspeaker of what your inside is.
So, actually, I have a question for all of you because you're coming from different perspectives. I'm the editor of Fashion101.in. It's a fashion news website in India. It's India's largest. My question is, fashion is also a lot about culture. You wear according to the culture you belong to. I mean, what you're wearing is according to yours. What I'm wearing is according to mine. But we're living in an increasingly globalized society. And where we are absolutely, I mean, with, like you said, in 30 seconds, we're judged on what we're wearing. In some parts of the world, wearing a hijab is not allowed. In some parts of the world, you have to wear a hijab. So, for most of us who move in globalized societies, and when we mix with people from different nationalities, what do you advise? How do people dress? How should we dress? In order to give an impression so that others should feel safe in communicating with us, and on the other hand, being true to our roots and where we come from.
Thank you very much. I'm going to make a comment, and I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to make a comment, especially I'm sure that's your wheelhouse. I'll give you the mic in a bit. The thing is having respect for culture. Like I said, dressing correct according to where you find yourself. Again, that comes with education, like I said. But if you are in your natural habitat, so to speak, the place where you've grown up culturally, then it becomes second nature to dress according to the culture. But obviously, like you're saying, like when I have to travel, I have to go to places to speak and stuff like that. What I do is I do my research. I go to find out before I get there what is acceptable dress conduct in the country or the place where I'm going to, because I don't want to offend my host. I don't want to offend the people that I want to go and love, that I want to go and talk to, that I want to integrate with. So I would study, find out what is acceptable, and dress accordingly. I remember I spoke one time to there was a young boy. He was so good looking, but he had on some braids and stuff like that, and he really looked good. I mean, I told him, I said, if I was a guy, I wouldn't even let my girlfriend come near you because you're too good looking. I said, but you know what? If you want to be taken seriously in business school, get rid of the hair. I said, I said, wait until then, when you become successful, do you understand what I'm saying? Then you can put the hair back on. I said, now, Elton John can enter anywhere with the funny glasses. Nobody's going to ask him anything. I said, but if you're a nobody and you dress like Elton John, they won't even let you get in the shop because they're going to think you're crazy, What about Lady Gaga? You understand what I'm saying? So it's knowing at what stage where you are. The thing about fashion is wear the right outfit at the right time, in the right place, for the right people. Thank you.
I could just stand behind you and let you speak. We're so one with one another. Totally. And let me just try to take a little bit of what you say into it. So my advice for dressing for your own culture, where you